adjustments on the fly. We got Thursday night games, Friday night games, and Saturday night games, and we were able to get the game in. But heavy hearts, obviously. The first question before we get into the game, we had 23 players from the state of Florida on this roster. Of course, we all know what's happened over the last 2, 3, 4 days. I'm sure you've talked with your kids. I'm sure they've talked with their families. How are things looking from that capacity?
Well, just in the meeting, just a few minutes ago, Charles, we had a team meeting, and I kind of addressed those guys that were from Florida and just kind of wished them well on their and their family back in Florida. And all of them seemed to be just asking around and making sure that their family was doing good. And I think most of them did say that their families well, and they're trying to get back now and get reestablished.
Yeah, that obviously is a tough thing to deal with. In these tough set of circumstances, a historic storm, a historic weather maker, and we talked with FIU's AD during the broadcast, and they have over 300 athletes, FIU athletes, that are in Birmingham competing, practicing at UAB's facility, so a difficult situation.
Yeah, that was one of the things that during the course of the week last week, we was talking with them, and they moving all their fall sports back up to Birmingham for the rest of I guess, till the storm was over. And you're right, Charles. And I think just coming in and with the old guys, just getting them out of harm's way, which they did, all of them. And I think there's several million of people's out of power down there now. So my heart goes out to those people down there in Florida, and I wish them well, and they recover.
All right. So of course we had a football game to play, and that was something that we talked about on the pregame. Of course, there was a game to be played, and the difficulty of it. Emmanuel Barnes talked about it.
Well, it's time to play a football game, and they're going to have to find a way to put that aside, and they're going to have to execute and try to win a game. And I mean, that's on both sides. Obviously, we're here with the Braves, but as we said, we're going to have to put all that aside and find a way to do what's necessary in order to win a football game.
And that was Emmanuel Barnes giving his thoughts, and I guess that's the tough thing in dealing with that. Have to find a way to get through 4 quarters.
You just overcome adversity, Charles. Even on the way to the game, we had a fender bender with the bus, and we were set back about an hour and a half with time. And thank God that everybody was fine and nobody got seriously hurt in that injury, in that accident. So finally got on the road, and we got to Birmingham right about 8:15. Got a chance to get the guys dinner and put them to bed. Normally we have meetings after dinner, but during that late time, you just try to get them to bed and get them some rest, and got up the next morning on Friday morning and got some walkthrough time and meeting time with the guys. So just being able to adapt and adversity, man. It comes, and you have to be able to fight through it.
All right, so we're going to go to the phone lines. Got a lot going on here. We got texts, we got tweets, we got phone calls. So we'll get to the phone calls first, kind of keep the phone lines clear, and then we'll get to those as they go. JJ is calling in from Mobile, Alabama. JJ, how you doing?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you holding up down there, Mobile?
It's just really, really, really windy, but no rain. It's just really windy, because we're right down on the water, so, it's really windy. I think wind's probably now about 40, 50 miles an hour right now as we speak. I mean, it's just windy, but no rain, no, lightning, nothing like that. So, I mean, I guess that's good for us down here.
Well, be safe down there. What's your question?
I was just calling and just to say I'm proud of everybody. We can't win them all, but we made it a football game, and that's what I'm most proud of. Because you see all these, FCS schools playing these FBS schools, and they're getting blown out 42-0 or whatever. But we made it a football game, and I'm just really excited about this football team going forward as far as what we got left and what we're trying to accomplish as far as, winning the SWAC and, winning the bowl game. I'm really confident because, that game Friday could have went either way. And honestly, they have better players than we do on paper. And we really made it a football game. And Coach McNair, I just, congratulate y'all, even though y'all did not win, but I know there's no such thing as moral victories, but I mean, because we had a short week as well, and we had some adversity as well, not as much as them, but we had adversity too. And we came through it, and we almost won the football game. It just kind of reminds me of 2014 when we played Southern Miss. We had a chance to win the game, and we just didn't. But what it is. But I'm just excited as it was whenever we played them in 2014, Southern Miss, and we went all the way. I think we might be a little better than that team. That's just my opinion. We just talk about 14's team and this year's team, and I mean, because they look a lot similar to me.
All right, JJ, we appreciate your call.
Yeah, we appreciate you, JJ, and your fan support. That means a lot down there for Mobile, man. And thanks for everything that you're doing for us. And you're right, it was a great football game, and we had opportunities there to make a statement, and it just kind of fell short.
Yeah, we did. We appreciate it, JJ, and stay safe down there as the winds pick up. They're even looking at the Tuscaloosa area and closing schools, and so the wind's going to pick up. And even, I think, tropical storm warning for Atlanta. I read that earlier, so that's something we definitely have to keep our eyes on. So we appreciate your call, JJ, on this Monday night. Let's get to the highlights. The Braves won the toss, deferred to the second half. FIU's first drive started at their own 27-yard line. They got to the Braves 26, so they had a field goal attempt.
High snap ball down, is up, and it's
No good, wide left.
Oh, good stop after all that. Stop the bleeding.
So that was, we dodged a little bullet there, Coach.
Yes, we did. And, I told the defense, Bama don't break there. And, they fought hard. And, getting down there and them getting in field goals range and just a lot of distraction. And Coach Stewart does a great job with the field goal block team and getting off the ball and trying to get a block there. So they were able to kick it wide and we get the ball.
All right, so the Braves, after that miss, their first drive started at their own 27-yard line. With 10:47 left in the first quarter, Warford a 2-yard run, incomplete pass to Veals. 3rd down and 8 on this big 3rd down play from their own 28-yard line. Lance Turner comes out in motion, and Footman will keep it. Footman plows straight ahead, close to the first down, and he's got it by a yard. Needed 8, picked up 9. So the drive continues from their 33-yard line. We were faced with a 4th down here, Coach McNair. You'll talk about that in a moment. 4th and 6. We went for it on 4th down, 4th and 6 from our own 29. McCullough made a 45-yarder last week. This would be from 46 if they attempted, but they're going to go, it appears, on 4th down and 6 from the 29. The Lance Turner to the right of Lenore's Footman. Back to pass, steps up, Footman looks. He's going to be sideswiped and brought down at the 28 for a gain of 1, and the Braves turn it over on down. All right, so talk about the decision to go for it, and then that play, we did pick up the first.
Just a momentum swing, and we thought we moved the ball down the field very, very good on them, and we thought that we had a great chance of getting the first down and going in for score 7 on that play. And I think if Footman stays in the pocket, he'll find Charles on the side wide open if he stays in the pocket. But he steps up and decides to run then, and unfortunately, he was able to convert on 4th down right there. But I thought it was a great decision for us to go for it. It was my call to do that, and we just fell short of getting that first down.
That was a 13-play, 46-yard drive that took up 6:39. So FIU started at their own 28 with 4:08 left in the first quarter. They got to the Braves 9 as we ended the first quarter. Scoreless game. We had opportunities. FIU missed a field goal, so kind of a tussle through the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was almost kind of like two boxers trying to fill themselves through the first round, and I think that we did that, and I think we executed the ball well the first half. The first quarter, just the defense played solid the first quarter. They played very tough, being outweighed and all that kind of stuff. They stood their ground, and that's what we like about it. And those guys going to play well. Like I said, the depth of the defensive line really helps us a whole lot. And I think the linebacker core is going to get better and better every week.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Marquise calling from Port Gibson. We lost him last week. We got him back here tonight. Good evening, Marquise. Hello, Marquise. Hello, Marquise. Marquise is over.
How you doing?
Oh, okay, we got you. I'm about to say we're going to be 0 for 2 with Marquise here. Good evening.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. What's your question?
I was just saying y'all had a game on FIU.
Can you say that again?
Hold on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Marquise, we have a busy phone line here, so call back if you will. It's a scoreless game at the end of the first quarter.
I'm back.
Okay, what's your question, quickly?
Okay, I just want to say, can I speak to Coach Baker?
Yeah, he's here. What's your question?
I just want to say, y'all had that game on FIU. It was kind of fin, right?
Yes?
Oh, okay. That's all I want to know.
Okay. All right, Marquise. Thank you for your call. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll be right back after this timeout here on this Monday night. We'll get with the second quarter highlights coming your way in 1 minute on the Fred McNair Radio Show.
The Alcorn State University School of Agriculture, Research, Extension, and Applied Sciences is a premier land-grant program that promotes excellence in the areas of teaching, research, and outreach activities delivered by cutting-edge technology to its students and the communities it serves through vibrant teaching, research, and outreach activities. The School of Areas empowers students and citizens educationally and socioeconomically to enrich the quality of life for themselves and their communities. For more information on our school and our services, visit us online at www.alcorn.edu/areas.
Join WPRL 91.7 FM and WPRL.org for the 2017 edition of the High School Coaches Show to air every Friday at 10 a.m. Hosted by Jay Miles, Gospel Music Director, with head coaches James Harrington of the Jefferson County Tigers and Harry Brown of the Port Gibson Blue Waves. The coaches will be talking about the X's and O's of the upcoming 2017 football season. Don't miss it.
All right, welcome back. 14 minutes after the hour. A bunch of tweets have come in, and the obvious question, Coach, we talked about the offense in, we have 300 yards plus against Miles in week 1. Couldn't get it going on the ground. Lance Turner gave us what he gave us, but no P.J. Simmons. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I think that was a mistake on our part. Just trying to get him into the game. Not having that many plays on offense and only 53 plays on offense this week, but it was just something that we just overlooked. We didn't overlook him, but I think situation got caught up in where we was getting the Lance in, but not understanding he was still there. But that was something that we corrected this week, and we talked to him about it, and he understood that it was on our part that he didn't play this week. Wasn't intentional. Just the idea of just the rest that we normally get, but every series now he will play probably about the every series going in.
Yeah, just talk about how tough it was to run against these guys. You talked about the speed, how they fly to the ball, how they tackle well. Was it as tough as what we saw Friday night in terms of getting stuff done?
Yeah, you can say that, Charles, but sometimes there's no excuses for execution. Every player designed to run touchdown, but you have coach on the other side of the ball as well that coaches their defenses, and I think that we had a lot of plays that, just looking at the film on yesterday morning, a lot of plays that we left out there that I thought that would have been big plays if we executed. That's something that we have to look at. I think we'll have that corrected. I thought that the thing going in that we could move the ball on them, and we did at times. But you see at some point that where it's a letdown. It's because of something misexecution for what the offense we're doing.
601-877-6595, 601-877-6595. Give us a call. Got a bunch of tweets. We'll get to them. Squeeze in the second quarter highlights. It was scoreless at the end of the first quarter. And in the second quarter, as we talked about before the break, FIU started at their own 28 with 4:08 left in the first quarter. Got to the Braves 9 to end the first quarter. So as we pick it up here in quarter number 2, the second play of the second quarter, 1st and goal from the Braves 6-yard line.
Alex Gardner to the left of McGough. Now shifts to his right. Here is Gardner. Straight inside, straight to the end zone. Touchdown, FIU. A little draw to the left side, and it was wide open to that left side.
So that was a 72-yard drive and 11 plays, 5:08 off the clock, and FIU with the lead in the second.
That's straight power play, and that's something they've been doing all the game, Charles. They're straight power downhill. They mano, man against man, so they power up down there, and when they squeeze that one in, after 11 play drive, you kind of get fatigued on defense a little bit and kind of wear down a little bit, but they got it in on that play and ended up being a 7-0 ball game at that time.
So the Braves went 3 and out in the next possession after trailing 7-0. So FIU got it with 12:29 left. Started at their own 29, got to the Braves 34, where it was 1st down and 10, and an interesting play and call here.
FIU ready to snap it in, they do. McGough, good pocket, lobs it down the field, and it's caught at the 10, at the 5, at the 2.
He fumbled it.
And it's going to be ruled, what, a catch and a fumble?
He fumbled that ball.
Or was he down?
No, he fumbled the ball into the end zone.
All right, so there was a review. And after the review, after about 6 minutes, here was the call.
The player was not down before he fumbled the ball into the end zone with an immediate recovery by Alcorn State. First and 10, Alcorn State at the 20-yard line.
So good piece of officiating there. Manuel Barnes saw it. We saw it on the big board, and obviously an overturned call.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the official addressed me at the game, before the game, Charles, that they was going to be quick about the instant replay, but they took a little longer than I expected to take a look at it, and that's why I had to try to use a timeout. But after that, they told me I wouldn't have to use a timeout, so they gave me a timeout back after seeing that, and it was overturned, which I thought it was a problem as well. I thought Diego did a great job of stripping the ball loose from a big tight end. You know, he's a big old guy out there. You know, so he did a great job of getting the ball out.
So with that strip, the Braves took it at the 20-yard line at that point, and they got to their own 23 where it was 3rd down and 7. They picked up the first down at that point, and the Braves were able to move the football. They got inside the red zone. 2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line of FIU, trying to tie it up.
On 2nd down and goal, Footman looks right all the way, pump fakes, throws, and it's a catch, touchdown!
Yeah.
Tavares Johnson, his catch set it up down here, and he finished it off with a 5-yard touchdown.
A couple of big catches for Tavares on that drive, and that TD tied the game.
Yeah, it did. I think the Nords did a great job of finding an open guy. His initial receiver wasn't open, so the Tavares was out in the flats, and he stayed there like he should, and Footman just did a great job of finding him open and getting the ball to him.
So it was a 7-7 game at halftime. Coach, your thoughts? Low-scoring game. Did you expect a low-scoring game?
Well, yeah, in some sense, Charles, I did. I thought it was going to be a hard-fought ball game for both teams, you know, and I knew our guys were going to come out and play hard and do the things they did to keep those guys out of the end zone from scoring so much, you know. And my hats off to the defensive team and the coaching staff, the way they put together the defensive scheme to slow that team down, which was a big, powerful team, and they showed it. But I thought we did a great job of standing up to the fight and making a battle out of it.
So 7-7 game. We'll take a break here, 21 minutes after. A bunch of questions to get to. We haven't forgotten about you out there. Just a lot to talk about with the highlights. We'll mix in questions, comments, tweets, and text. We'll do all that as the Fred McNair Show rolls around in 1 minute on the Alcorn Football Radio Network.
If you haven't heard, Riverwalk's all-new Players Club is here. We believe you deserve the best casino loyalty program, so we're proud to introduce the all-new Riverwalk Rewards. Our players get more, with exciting new benefits, more tiers, and more rewards than ever before. And now, Riverwalk is home to the area's first and only military rewards card. Our new Honor Card is our way of saying thank you to all of our active and retired military. Let's play at Riverwalk Casino Hotel. Must be 21 to gamble.
At highway speeds, the average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. That's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts, stopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
At WPRL 91.7 FM.
You are tuned in to WPRL 91.7 FM, broadcasting from the campus of Alcorn State University.
All right, it's 22 minutes after the hour. Give us a call, 601-877-6595. A bunch of questions and tweets about the status of P.J. Simmons, and Coach McNair talked about that. Mr. T tweets, Coach, will there be more focus on the 2-minute drill and time management? It seems like we lost a lot of time, especially on that last drive, in which we'll get into the highlights of. But just talk about that.
No, it was that. It was that we wanted to try to save our time out to on the other side of the 50-yard line and make sure we got the right time to do that. So we had a lot of things that was going on, a lot of incomplete passes and things like that. Every first down, the clock stops anyway. You know, we get up to the ball and line up and get a snap off. We don't lose before a second instead of burning the time out. So I thought we did the right thing of doing that. We just didn't execute some of the pass plays that we normally do right there in the latter part of the game. So we just got to just make sure that we don't be put in that situation. for one at the end of the ball game.
All right, so 7-7 game at the break. FIU grabbed the lead in the third quarter for a field goal attempt.
Snap back, ball down, kick is up, and it is slammed through.
So it was 10-7 at that point, Coach. So we've been able to hold FIU for the most part defensively. We were without. Talk about Mike Brooks, because a lot of folks were looking for him on Friday.
Yeah, Mike Brooks sustained an injury against the Miles game, and you know, he's not able to come back this week for that. With a lot of soreness in his shoulder, and hopefully, you know, we'll get him back to this week or maybe the Southern week. Just depends on how he's feeling and everything like that. And it depends on really what the doctor tells us. You know, we can't do anything without him letting us know what's going on with Mike's shoulder.
Wow, so a shoulder situation for Mike Brooks, and hope that turns out. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the fourth quarter highlights because of so many questions that we'll be getting to here at 24 minutes after the hour. It was a 10-7 game going into the fourth quarter. We're going to fast forward things to 6:21 left in the fourth quarter. The Braves started at their own 38. They had a 2nd and 2 from their own 46. And Lance Turner with a big run on this drive.
And here's the Lance Turner to the 50-yard line, 45-40 to the 35.
So the big run by Lance Turner set things up. The drive stalled at FIU's 32, where Corey McCullough lines up for a 49-yarder.
Snap back, ball down. Kick is up. It's got the distance. Does it have the accuracy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that tied it up at 10. So in the first two games, he's nailed a 45 and a 49-yarder, Coach McNair.
Yeah, just seeing Corey work at practice and the way he worked, his work habits at practice says a lot about Corey, you know. And you know, I'm very confident in him, and anyone on the field that can kick it within that range. You know, I've seen him kick 55-yarders in practice, so you know, I'm not surprised that he kicked that. And like I said, just confident in him, the way he's kicking the ball and the way he's punting. So he does a great job for us. And I had a talk with him the other day in practice, and just kind of let him know, look, you can't be getting in the pushing match with these guys, and you gotta just take care of yourself, because you know sometimes we really gonna need you in games. So he understands, and he's a very genuine guy, and he's doing everything the right way.
All right, so that tied the game at 10 with 3:54 left in the fourth quarter. The next possession for FIU started at their own 20-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 20. McGough back to pass. Looks, drive this one down the field on the post, and this ball is caught. It's a catch at the 39-yard line on the skinny post.
He's trailing him all the way.
Julian Williams with the catch from the 20 to their 40. A gain of 30, 1st and 10 FIU.
They ran that play a couple of times, maybe 3 times in the game. He overshot him, the receiver, the first couple of times, but that one worked.
Yeah, he connected on that one, Charles, and like I said, you know, he threw that post route a few times, and I think that technique-wise was a problem with that, as the DB played the wrong technique to that route. But you know, it's some of the things that we really have to look at and make sure we're getting it corrected as well. And you know, just a great pass. You know, like I said, you know, he just haven't could connect on it at the major point of the game. So was able to defend it and make that play.
So with that big play that set things up, FIU went back to the run. Alex Gardner, 32 yards on 3 carries to the Braves' 6-yard line. It was 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line.
2nd down and goal from the 2. Quarterback sneak. Does he get in? They unravel the pile. Yes, a touchdown. McGough with the score. 80-yard drive on the quarterback sneak with 1:12 left in the fourth. And just as the Braves, McCullough nailed a long field goal to tie it, McGough's quarterback sneak puts FIU ahead.
So it was 17-10 at that point with the PAT. The Braves' next drive started at their own 25-yard line. They had a 3rd down and 4 from their own 31-yard line.
Footman, 3-step drop, looks, throws, and this is a catch. Tavares Johnson, his 3rd catch for the 1st down, a gain of 7. Stops the clock with 53 seconds left. They'll spot the change, start the clock.
All right, so Tavares Johnson keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10 from our own 38-yard line. It was 3rd down and 10 from our own 38 with 33 seconds left here in this fourth quarter.
You can still work it here. A couple of timeouts in your pocket. 3rd and 10, Braves down 7 with 33 seconds left. And Footman's back to pass. Looks. He's hit as he throws. Catch! First down. Progress to the 45-yard line. Boy, in a tight window, Tavares Johnson. 24 seconds and counting left. Will Footman spike it? 20 seconds left. Got 2 timeouts. 18 seconds left. 15 seconds left. And now they finally take a timeout. At least 12 seconds ticked off the clock before the Braves took the timeout.
All right, so, Coach, let's revisit that because that was another 15, 16, 17 seconds that we would have had there.
Yeah, and that's true. And that's just a mistake on my part there, Charles. And I'm thinking we're going to get up and get the ball off in time enough to get a play in without having to burn a timeout with at least 24 seconds on the clock. But we didn't get it done. I ended up spending a timeout there. I thought we had enough time to do that, but we didn't call a timeout there, so we burned a few seconds off that one.
So the Braves have one final chance with just a handful of seconds left.
Norris Footman with 3 receivers right, back to pass. Back pedal, steps up, is going to just pop this one up.
There it is.
Inside the 10.
That's out of bounds.
Well, out of bounds as time expires.
So the Braves ran out of time there and fall short 17-10. We'll get into the game. We'll get to all your questions, comments, and tweets after we take this 1-minute timeout, bottom of the hour, halfway through the Fred McNair radio show. It continues in 1 minute on the Alcorn Football Radio Network.
At Ceasefire, we had a bold new idea. Why pay for data you don't use? So we created Unlimited with cashback. On months you use lots of data, Unlimited has you covered. Use less data and get cash back on your bill. That's like going to a free baseball game, a free movie, or a free night of bowling. Get Unlimited with cashback only at Ceasefire. Customer inspired.
Switch today and get 50% off our hottest smartphones with trade-in. Details at ceasefire.com.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no idea how to find each other. The whole experience was the most frightening 10 hours of my life. If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message. Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Visit beready.iowa.gov. Brought to you by Ready Iowa, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
All right, it's the bottom of the hour. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Alcorn Football Radio Network.
You're tuned in to WPRL 91.7 FM, broadcasting from the campus of Alcorn State University.
All right, halfway through the Fred McNair radio show here on this Monday night. Glad you could join us. I'm Charles Edmond, head coach Fred McNair. Give us a call, 601-877-6595, 601-877-6595 as we roll along here. Coach, tough loss, obviously, and a bunch of questions. A loss like this, a game in which felt like probably could have won the game, had opportunities. People have questions. Let's try to provide some answers here. This text has come in a little earlier. With the offense struggling to find a rhythm, Coach, what are the plans to address the issue? Even though DeLance has the power, he's not a power back. With Baker gone, talking about Aaron Baker, no power back and can't get defenses to commit, allowing them to be lateral and disrupt our offense. What is your plan to have a more consistent offense? This is from Josh, a concerned Brave.
Yeah, DeLance, he gives us some of the same similar stuff that Baker gives us. He's more of a power back. But then when you have P.J. Simmons come in, he's more of a slasher type guy. But like I said, those things that will be corrected during the course of this week. The way they guys go in and out of ball games and stuff like that. We talked about it during the course of meetings today. So those things happen, and as far as power, DeLance can do the same thing as Baker.
All right, so another question, no name, but a text that's come in. Coach, we know injuries happen, and kind of a different theme here. What is being done differently from last year in regards to strength, conditioning, and nutrition preventive measures?
Well, I guess the biggest thing is when you have coaches that really care about these kids and understand what they need as far as getting them healthy and keeping them healthy. I think that's the biggest thing. And coming off of last year with all those injuries we had last year, you kind of reflect back on the past years to where you're doing certain things different as far as getting these guys flexibility to where it needs to be. And I think that Coach Maddox is doing a great job with these guys of getting them in the weight room and getting their flexibility better than it's been in the past. So I think that's the biggest issue. So we continue to work in progress there, and we got a good trainer that's doing a great job for us in treatment and getting these guys back healthy and getting them back out on the field. So that is the biggest thing, the biggest difference. And I think that we're doing what we can as a coaching staff to make sure that we our concern is about these young men that are playing this game of football and making sure they stay healthy and critical moments.
All right, another tweet has come in from Andre Young. We talked about P.J. Simmons, and he's talked about that already. He also brought up the point of a highly recruited Quintarius Cole in the secondary on the defensive side. What is his status?
Yeah, he's going to be good. Just time with him, and I think the more time he spends with coaching him on that side of the ball and understanding that what he's trying to do is he'll get a chance to play. He's playing a lot of special team for us right now, and he's just going to be one of those guys that's going to need reps.
All right, we appreciate Andre Young's tweet. Well, Coach, when you look at the game, we talk about the lack of a running game. Talk about Lenore's Footman. I mean, the first couple of games, he's been okay. Notice anything different in his play the first couple of games, especially on Friday? Anything different there?
No, Lenore's, I think he's doing a great job for us. He's managing what he got to do, and he ran the ball 12 times for 75 yards, and then we passed the ball for 191. So, he just staying on top of his game, and that's the only thing we can ask of him. Try to get him better and better every week of some of the things that we can correct during the course of the week, and that's one thing that we will hop on all week is some of the things that he did in the course of this game. I think that allows us to have big plays, but he's got his head on right, and he's doing a great job for us, and he will continue to push it. So I just got to keep pressing on him.
A tweet from T-Rank. We have a great wide receiver group. Why won't we throw it more? From T-Rank off the Twitter feed.
Well, we threw it 34 times. With a balanced running game, I think we have, and we're kind of like a 50-50 deal. I think we're doing what we can as far as passing the ball. The time that we do pass, we're very effective, and other times, we just sometimes we kind of be more disciplined on our routes and stuff like that, and putting in a position where he can get good reads from the defensive secondary. So I think 34 times a game, that's a lot of passes, and then we talk about the running game. I think we on third down conversion, as I talked about this coaching staff this morning, we just got to get better on efficient third down and converting those. And the same thing on defense is getting off the field on third down. So I think those things kind of tie into what we're trying to do. If we get off the field, we get more plays, and if we stay on the field, their offense get less plays. So it kind of works together. But that's some of the things we had already addressed. And but passing the ball 34 times, that's a lot. He was 22 or 34 for 191. So.
Mr. T has a comment. Too many big plays doomed us, and that play was ran several times, I guess, talking about some of the screens and other things. They did have a couple of more big plays, even though we had a shot late.
Yeah, I mean, they did. I mean, that's something that we talked about as well. And just like I said, wrong technique with that last big play on the passing. With that post route, I think Martian played the wrong technique, should have been more inside and open up his hip and play it out. So giving up the middle. But those things we can't correct, and that's what we're going to do this week, is correct those things. And we talked about it during the team meeting this afternoon about mental mistakes and stuff like that. So a lot of times guys get tired and playing a lot of plays like that. Fatigue sets in, and the mental aspect kind of go away. But we just got to grapple on that and make sure we're doing the right thing to stay mentally focused, and that's what we've been doing.
Another tweet from IM3 says we were in zero coverage on big pass plays when FIU went ahead 17-10. Was it a busted coverage there?
No, I don't think it was busted coverage. I don't think it was zero coverage either. I mean, just looking at it, I think Coach Davis Thomas has been a great play caller and so forth. I don't know the time that we was in zero coverage, just a little zone, and I think maybe the safety maybe came down on the play fake and got kind of nosed right there, on that post route. But normally you always keep your guy deep in the secondary.
All right, 6:38. We'll take a break here. We'll go inside the numbers of this 17-10 win. Give us a call. Keep the tweets and texts coming, and they're coming, I can tell you. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after this timeout here on the Fred McNair Radio Show.
It's game day. You've got things to do, tents to set up, games to stream.
Good morning, football fans.
That's why C Spire invested in more towers for more power. More towers give you more streaming, more sharing, more cheering. We know what football means to you, so our network has you covered. At C Spire, we work for fans. C Spire, customer inspired.
Get unlimited with cashback. Now 4 lines for just $40 each. Details at cspire.com.
The Ranger Station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again. Felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
All right, welcome back. We're going to go back to the phone lines. Tommy is calling from Edwards. Haven't heard from Tommy in a minute. For Ed McNair, let's say good evening to Tommy.
Been a good year.
Coach Edmonds, I mean, not Coach Edmonds, but Edmonds. But anyway, I want to talk to the coach. Look, I know you said that on most of the time, for the passing concern, it was most of the time he was completing 34 passes or something like that. But 21 was completed or something like that. But I think he's throwing more in the flat and not going downfield. That's what one caller was talking about. You got good receivers, but you're not going downfield. You're throwing the ball in the flat more times. Most of the time, 60% of the time. Yes, you can complete those passes on the sideline, but you're not picking up in the yard. So that's what I was calling about.
Thank you, Tommy. We were working the edges.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is about that when you're running RPOs, and those are some of the things that when you get to read, that's where you really take you a lot of times, and that's the thing that we do when we do drop back pass. We do go down the field vertically, and that's some of the things that we have been doing. So, the type of offense that we're running in the RPO system, that's what happens. That's where you really take you, especially when you don't have a handoff read. You have to throw it out there like that. And a lot of time we have RPOs that throw the ball right down the middle of the field. Those are some of the things too. It's the same thing. So, but that's the biggest difference. I think the RPOs is where the ball will take you. A lot of time, that's what we do as for this offense.
Alexis Smith tweets about adjusting for DB help on our right side and safety needs to stay deep. Talk about that aspect of things.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like I said, we at the safety position. Sometimes when you have a team that run power after you, and all of a sudden they play fake, and you come down here and then you try to be nosy a little bit, they'll go over the top of you. And that's what happened in the deep pass there, with the wrong technique by the corner and things like that. But I think that we're doing all the right things to try to correct those problems, and I think we're gonna be okay when it all said and done. Played a good football team. Can't take nothing away from them as well. Like I told the coaches, they got coach on their sideline too. They watch the film and study film as well. So we just gotta make sure we're doing what we can to put these guys in position to win.
41 minutes after the hour, T.J. Mayfield tweets any notable injuries coming from Friday's game.
No, just some minor stuff. And I'm always checking the training room in the morning time after staff meetings and make sure that we're doing the right thing, make sure the kids are getting the treatment, and make sure the trainers are taking care of them. And I think they're doing a great job of getting that treatment room and doing the things they should do to take care of that. So right now, just all this stuff like non-living Nick stuff, and I think that we're doing a great job trying to get those guys back for this.
All right, let's look at the final numbers here. We talked about Flick's numbers, 22 of 34 for 191 yards. He was sacked one time. Talk about the offensive line. We talked about the defense, the secondary. How do you think the offensive line performed Friday?
Well, they did a great job charging. Coach Stanchak, he graded those guys very hard, and the things that he do up front. And we kind of cut down on the penalties this week, which I was very proud of. Didn't have that many penalties as last week, and the offensive line and pass pro was outstanding. I thought we did give up a sack on the scramble, but as far as the pass pro, I think we're getting a whole lot better there. and doing the things we need to do for footmen to get downfield and throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, we have one against a penalty against Warford, a sportsman like that pushed us back deep inside our territory. That one was a tough one.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, well, he didn't think that he couldn't block that guy coming down on the punt. So when the ball went out of bounds, that's when he made contact, initially contact, and tried to block the guy, keep him getting the ball. And that's what they threw a flag on. Yeah, it was a flag that, I mean, a lot of the time you probably won't even get it thrown, but, you know, just the idea of them throwing flags, and it happened.
Well, running the football, the Norris Footmen 56 yards to lead the Braves in rushing. DeLance Turner, just 9 carries, 34 yards. You talked about that. Of course, we know what DeLance Turner can do and what he has done. Just getting him the football. You talked about P.J. Simmons. Was it tough sledding out there for DeLance when you looked at everything he was doing?
No, just looking back at the film, Charles, and I said it, you know, execution. We make the right reads and hand the ball off sometime. We make the right read and we keep it all the time. We bump our head against the goalpost. Just looking back at the game, and that's where it was. I think we left a lot out there. That's what I told the team this afternoon. We left a lot of things out there, a lot of yards, a lot of points, and we just got to execute. That's the biggest thing. And, every play is designed to score, but you know, if you don't execute it right, you won't do that.
We talked about Corey McCullough earlier. How much confidence is he getting? First couple of weeks of 45, and on Friday a 49-yard field goal.
I'm very happy for that young man, and he's done a great job. Like I said, Charles, all through the week, his preparation through the week is unbelievable. We talk about timing and getting the ball off, and the operation. The big whole thing is the operation time, that he's getting the ball off as quick as he can. So very proud of him. He's doing the right things. He's kicking good.
He averaged 45 yards, 45.8 yards per punt, so he did his job there.
Oh yeah, no, he punted the ball well too, Charles. I mean, he's doing a great job with his foot, man. I mean, he's unbelievable. You know, just see him in practice, the way he practices, Charles, is just unbelievable. He does a great job, and go continue to do it. I have no doubt in him. I'm very confident in him. Like I said, anywhere from 50 yards, I'm good for it. So we just continue to ride on him and let him kick more.
On the defensive side, Alex Gardner was their leading rusher, 102 yards on 20 carries and a touchdown, averaging 5 yards a carry. Talk about his deal. Slippery, elusive. What would you say about him?
He was just powerful, Charles. And like I said, get behind that big line they got, and you can find some creases there. And that's what they did. They run a lot of power stuff at us, and wear and tear. If you lean on people for so long, and the weight began to wear on you for a little while. But he did a great job rushing the ball. Like I said, you can't take nothing from FIU. They was a good football team.
Well, you talked about it last week. Coaches talk about the biggest adjustment you make all season is between week 1 and week 2. All right, so what was the biggest adjustments now that we've made when you look at from last week against Miles going into this Friday night game with FIU? What were the big adjustments?
Well, you talk about making them drive the field on defense, and that's the thing that kind of you look for, not giving up the real big plays, but we did give up the one on defense, and if they have to do that at some point in time, they will stall. I thought the defense did a great job of doing that and making them drive the length of the field instead of giving us big plays. I thought that was very, very good what the defense did, and they get down there and they miss a field goal and all that kind of stuff, and they don't score a whole lot of points, and that's the thing that you kind of do when you're playing a team like an FBS team. You don't want to score as many points as that, but 17 points. Like I said, I'm proud of the way the defense played. They play hard, they play physical. I guess a physical team.
Well, the Braves fall 17-10, and you talked about it, Coach, for all the struggles that we had. I mean, this past Saturday, just looking at the scores, teams playing up like Southern and others. I know we do what we have to do financially to get the big payday. Just the scores, just kind of depressing. I mean, the lopsided scores that we've seen so far, and for us to play FIU as tough as we did. I think it says a lot about where this team. This could be, like the Arkansas game last year, even though it was in the middle of the season we played Arkansas. Just week 2 playing FIU, who knows, something to build on as we get ready for probably one of the better FCS teams that we'll see coming in here in McNeese.
Oh yeah, McNeese State, they've been a playoff team every year just about, Charles, and they've been doing that for a long time. Coach Gildry, he's a pretty good coach, and actually he's a McNair State graduate, and he played there at McNair State. So he's gonna have a fired up ball club coming in and coming off their first win against Florida Tech. So they're gonna be excited coming in here, and I think our guys just coming off this ball game here, really feel good about themselves the way they played, but they understand that we have to really play a little bit harder and from the mental aspect of it, and concentrate better on the things they do technique wise and do better things offensive and execute. That's the biggest thing. We just got to make sure we hone in on executing all week, and I think that this coaching staff is getting these guys ready to do that as we speak. So we just got to continue to press on and get these guys ready for a good ball club to come in and make mistakes.
We'll take a time out here. When we come back, we'll look at the SWAC report, and we'll look ahead to the McNair State Cowboys. They are 1-1 on the season. They lost to Nickel State by 2, and they beat Florida Tech, a game in which they led big and had to hold on in the second half. So we'll talk about that when we come back in 1 minute on the Fred McNair Radio Show.
Hey kids, are you a member of the Braves Kids Club? If not, you should ask your parents to sign you up next year. The Kids Club is designed to give youngsters ages 7 through 12 a unique opportunity to be part of the team and excitement of Braves athletics. Thanks to our sponsors, Follett Higher Education Group and the Alcorn State University Foundation. This year's Kids Club has 70 members. For more information on how your child can join the Braves Kids Club for 2018, contact Larry Smith at lsmith@alcorn.edu, or you can give him a call at 601-877-2470. So if you want to join the Braves Kids Club for 2018, give Larry Smith a call at 601-877-2470, or send him an email, lsmith@alcorn.edu.
All right, welcome back to the Fred McNair Radio Show. Braves fans, be sure to mark your calendars for this year's Celebration Bowl. The third annual event will once again match the SWAC and MEAC champs. It'll be held December 16th at the brand new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Tickets and official hotel information will be available soon. Visit thecelebrationbowl.com for more information. Merit Health Natchez is proud to be the official sports medicine provider for athletics at Alcorn State University. Our certified athletic trainers help prevent, diagnose, and treat injuries related to participation in sports. On behalf of Merit Health Natchez, we wish the Alcorn Braves a successful, healthy, and injury-free season. We would like to give special recognition to parents, coaches, teachers, students, fans, faculty, and of course the players for making Alcorn football so special. Go Braves! All right, as we look at the SWAC scoreboard, Grambling beat Northwestern 23-10. Northwestern State 23-10. Jackson State had a chance to win it late, lost in the Southern Heritage Classic to Tennessee State 17-15. Troy State over Alabama State 34-7. It was Akron 52, UAPB 3. Southern Miss over Southern University 45-0, and Southern Illinois 55, Mississippi Valley State 3. Last Thursday night, it was Sam Houston 44, Prairie View 31, and Houston Baptist beat Texas Southern 24-17. Some of the notable games this week: Southern playing at Texas San Antonio. Jackson State going to Grambling. That game will not count in the SWAC standings. And of course, a big one here on High School Community Colleges Day. Alcorn and McNeese. We'll get into the McNeese Cowboys coming up after this 1 minute timeout on the Fred McNair Radio Show.
The Alcorn State University School of Agriculture, Research, Extension, and Applied Sciences is a premier land-grant program that promotes excellence in the areas of teaching, research, and outreach activities delivered by cutting-edge technology to its students and the communities it serves. Through vibrant teaching, research, and outreach activities, the School of Areas empowers students and citizens educationally and socioeconomically to enrich the quality of life for themselves and their communities. For more information on our school and our services, visit us online at www.alcorn.edu/areas.
Join WPRL 91.7 FM and WPRL.org for the 2017 edition of the High School Culture Show to air every Friday at 10 a.m. Hosted by Jay Miles, Gospel Music Director with head coaches James Harrington of the Jefferson County Tigers and Harry Brown of the Port Gibson Blue Waves. The Coaches will be talking about the X's and O's of the upcoming 2017 football season. Don't miss it.
All right, welcome back. It's 53 minutes after. As we turn the corner here, a couple in a row at home, Coach McNair, a chance to really hone in on some stuff. We're at home. We don't have to travel until the end of the month. So first up, McNeese out of the Southland Conference. You talk about the Southland, Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston State, and Central Arkansas. And you talk about, the fact is that we are the SWAC, and we're also an FCS conference. And the Southland is an FCS conference. So we played down, we played up, and now we're playing our FCS brethren, if you will, in McNeese. They're 1-1 on the season. They lost 37-35 to Nicholls State, in which they squandered multiple opportunities. They built a big lead early and faltered late. And then they built a big lead against FIT, 21-0, and won 42-21. They made a couple of big plays late. So as you look at McNeese, they're coming in here from Lake Charles, a 3.5-hour trip from the folks down there. What do you expect from the Cowboys coming up Saturday night at 6?
I tell you what, this is a very talented ball club, Charles, on both offense and defense, and they can really do some things on both sides of the ball that kind of create habits, and we just got to, other staff, we just got to find and get honed in on what they do best and try to slow them down a little bit. They're very good. They got 4 guys that all Southland Conference players, big-time players too, Charles, and we just got to do everything. Got a good quarterback, great receiver, and Kent Shelby catch the ball well, big tall guy, and defense they only giving up 62-yard rushing. Passing game they only giving up 273, so got our hands cut out for us, Charles, and we just got to do everything we can this week to get prepared for these guys and make sure we put these guys and the players in a position to win this ball game.
McNeese will start James Tabari at quarterback. He was 21 of 29 for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns in their win, but he was sacked 5 times. So maybe, Coach, we can get to him and slow down this McNeese offense that scored some points in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We try to tell our guys, we just have to just play with the same effort and the same attitude we just left out of this past week, Charles. A little more emphasis on being mentally focused. If we do that, I think we'll be fine against these guys and just continue to play hard. That's the biggest thing. And if these guys continue to play the way they've been playing, Charles, the lights out, mentally tough ball game. I think this will be a great ball game for us too.
In the backfield, David Ham, a 6-yard run to give McNeese a 35-21 lead with 10 minutes left. So we'll be looking at a lot of Ham this week. So talk about what we can expect.
Yeah, I think the biggest guy is Justin Pratt. David Ham is a guy that comes in and he's more of a ace-type guy. Fullback guy. He got 20 carries over the last 2 ball games for 88 yards. You look at Justin Pratt in 2 games, he had 30 carries for 36 yards. So they got people in the backfield to carry the ball. Benjamin Jones, another back in the backfield that's going to carry the ball for him. So we just got to be prepared for everybody, Charles. And that receiver core is really good. The quarterback sling the ball around real good, Charles. And think of the last 2 ball games they played, they had like maybe 9 receivers with catches. So they do sling it around, and hope we'll be prepared for it and make a ball game out of this thing.
You talked about Benjamin Jones. He put the exclamation point on the win over FIT with a 69-yard touchdown run with over a minute remaining. Defensively, I don't want to forget Solomon Muhammad, SWAC Defensive Player of the Week. He had a monster game and looked like he was all over the field Friday night. Yeah,
Solomon played a really solid game, and that's the thing that we expect out of him because this is his first year starting. Last year he was a backup, and right now he get a chance to start and prove himself to the coaching staff. And I think he's doing that, and he just continue to play the way he's playing. I think Solomon's gonna do a great job for us this year.
When you look at where we are right now through 2 games, we have 2 in a row at home, and then we've got a Friday night and a Thursday night game following that. So you've got a regular routine and then an abnormal routine after that. You go to Texas Southern, you play on a Friday night, then you go to Alabama State the next week, play on a Thursday night. So these next two weeks, I think, is a great opportunity. You're at home High School Day. Southern will be here. The Jaguar Nation will be here. Chance to get a couple of wins, perhaps, before you hit the road against two SWAC opponents.
And that's the biggest thing, Charles. You know, you talk about McNair State coming in, and then you got Southern after that. You know, you can't put the cart ahead of the horse right now, so we just have to just make sure that we take care of Benton this weekend. The one is at hand, which is a good McNair State. Coach Lance Guidry been around McNair State for a long time.
Yeah.
Defensive back coach, you know, back and play, then come back and be the head coach. You know, he's doing a great job. I got a chance to talk with him up at the clinic in Nashville, and just talked about how excited he was to have us on our schedule and all that kind of stuff. And you know, just hopefully, you know, with these guys we got coming out and just competing every day, you know, I think going to be the biggest part. And if they just play mentally tough and stay fundamentally sound and the things they can do, I think this will be a good ball game for us.
For all the talk of, you know, SWAC against SWAC, it's always interesting when we step out of conference and play our FCS opponents to see how we stack up against the Stephen F's, the Sam Houstons, and the McNeese. Like we played James Madison a few years ago. They're the #1 team in the FCS. We'll see how things shake down on Saturday, Coach. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Monday night.
We appreciate you, Charles.
All right, that's head coach Fred McNair on the Fred McNair Radio Show. We'll be on the air at 5:30 with the Alcorn pregame show. At the half, we're going to talk with Dr. Josephine Posey, her second book reflecting on the great Alcorn State University. We'll talk with her coming up at halftime of the game on Saturday. We'll be on the air at 5:30. Jay Miles will join me for Alcorn Braves football. That'll do it for the Fred McNair Radio Show. I'm Charles Edmond with our producer, Mario Brooks. We'll talk to you next Monday night. So long.